Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're looking at the two of the Senate races in 2022 midterms, and those are the Connecticut and Florida races. So, Connecticut, I think most people are expecting it to be safe Democratic. But I was looking at the history of the seat as well as some of the potential Republican candidates and the fact that it's supposedly it's going to be a Republican favorable year. I currently don't see a reason to completely disregard history. This was, after all, the same Senate class that was up in 2010 when the Republicans really gave the Democrats a shellacking in the Senate. So it's not impossible. But then again, back then, in 2010, the Democrats had Dobbs in the Senate in Connecticut, and he had a bunch of problems that led to him declining to run for re-election because he almost certainly would have been one of the victims of that red wave, of that complete slaughter. He would have been on the wrong side of that. He would have lost that election. Currently, Blumenthal is the incumbent in this seat, and his first election was in 2010, where he got 55% of the vote against his Republican opponent, Linda McMahon, and in 2016, during the presidential election year, he got 63% of the vote. Now, midterm years for the seat, when the Republican midterm years, do tend to be more favorable than I think they otherwise would be. And the Republicans do have a few interesting candidates. I think the most notable of which, though, is probably Bob Stefanowski, who is, he's a businessman, and of course he was the Republican nominee for governor in 2018. You, of course, have Dan Carter, who might run again. John Flynn, who is part of the Connecticut House, was a candidate for Connecticut House, so I'm going to ignore him. West Hartford mayor, or town councilor, has declared, and a lobbyist has declared. Yeah, that's not at all surprising. I don't think it's unfair to say this is safe D. I think it could maybe be not I think it might be slightly closer than that. Simply because Connecticut tends to be a more elastic state. And by that, I mean it has a population that there's a lot of swing voters in Connecticut. But the Democrats do outnumber the Republicans by a healthy margin, so at the end of the day, it's still a blue state, just if you get the right combination, it can go the other direction. So we're going to zoom out and zoom down to a state that is also going to be, I think, interesting, sort of. So, this is Florida, and the current incumbent is Marco Rubio. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I really don't see this seat flipping. Rubio is going to be very difficult to beat in Florida in a Republican year. And I wouldn't be surprised, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he won Miami-Dade. As in, he won Miami-Dade County. I would not be surprised. By the way, this is what his re-election in 2016 looked like. And that was after he had said he wasn't going to run because he was focusing on the presidential race. And then he joined last minute, got the nomination, and did that. Yeah. Marco Rubio is very strong. He won by like 8% or something like that in 2016. It wasn't that close of an election, if we're 100% honest. And that he is running for his third term. Honestly, he's not going to lose the primary. I don't really see that as a thing. You've got a few people who've declined to run. Matt Gaetz, Florida First. Roger Stone, a Trump advisor and political consultant. Ivanka Trump has declined. Gee, I wonder why. There's a few others, but if we're being 100% honest, there is no way Marco Rubio is losing that primary, no matter who runs. Trump might be able to beat him, but Trump isn't gonna run, I don't think. Especially not there. I mean, could you imagine going downgrading from president to senator? And even then, the Democrats, on the other hand, none of their major candidates have declared, or their well-known potential candidates. And that's stretching it. And when I say stretching it, I kind of do mean it. Only political junkies and the people who actually support these candidates even really know who they are in some of their positions. And honestly, I don't believe that any of them are a good fit for the entire state of Florida. I'm just going to say the two main ones, which are Val Demings, Florida's 10th congressional district, and Stephanie Murphy, Florida's 7th congressional district. If I remember correctly, one of those is, I think they're both Orlando area, or one of them is Orlando, one of them is Palm Beach area. There's a few other potential Democratic candidates as well. Charlie Crist, who was actually a former Republican governor. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to work out well in Florida. Another congressman, it's really just, the Democrats really are kind of scraping the barrel in Florida. Their bench is pretty weak at the state level. Because typically the Democrats are the Democrats are typically pulling candidates from Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Orlando, as well as Palm Beach and Broward counties. They're inconsistent at Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, and the more local you get in Miami-Dade County, the more Republican it gets, if that makes any sense. Because it's a really weird and unique situation with the Cuban demographic. And that's actually the demographic that's going to make it extremely difficult for the Democrats to win in Florida in the near future. And it's simply because Florida Cuban voters are basically back to being 2/3 Republican now, according to a few new polls that have been released. there's all Florida, because it's such a large state, is typically going to get a handful of independent and third party candidates. The mayor of Boynton Beach, I think that's how you say that, is declared former representative has expressed interest or is a potential candidate again. None of this is really going to do anything. Rubio is almost certainly going to win by about 8 or 9 points, maybe even 10. And like I said, that I would not be shocked if he flips Miami-Dade County. There's a decent chance he may flip one of the other, like 2 flippable counties at that point. I believe Gainesville is reasonably flippable, and so is Palm Beach County. But that's about it. I mean, the map is going to look like this, except Miami-Dade is almost certainly going to be red. So, yeah, that's what being a popular senator in a state that's favorable to your party in a year that is supposed to be favorable to your party against candidates that aren't good statewide fits is going to do. So, yeah, this is Marco Rubio's race to lose. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. I hope you all enjoyed. See you next time. Take it easy. Have a very nice day. And remember, likes, comments, and subscriptions. They always do help, and I greatly appreciate them. Take it easy.